Hey, it's Adam with sellcoloradohouse.com, and I wanted to make this video as I'm in Old Town, Fort Collins, Colorado. There's a lot of appointments I have this week, so I'll be back and forth in through houses. But one of the things I wanted to mention whenever you're talking to buyers and you have a house to sell, especially if you're talking to real estate investors, anyone claiming they're an investor, I am a real estate investor and have been for 12 years. The best thing I can tell you to look out for when offers are being made, besides the price, right? Yes, you got to try to find the best price possible. But besides the price, is look at the terms. The terms I think are more important than just price. Earnest money and time for inspection are the two most important things I want you to look at. Why? Because you got to ask yourself if somebody is saying they could buy your house and pay cash and close as is, because a lot of the people who claim to be investors, even if they're new or experienced, they use the same lingo, cash as is. Well, if they can do that, there's no reason for a 30-day inspection, for example, unless they're going to try to negotiate you down. They're going to make you wait. They're going to go into contract with you and they're going to make you wait this long, drawn out period before they even finalize inspection, because what they want to do is they want to try to price shop you a week before inspection is due. And you're going to be exhausted mentally. You're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, like I already weeded out all the other buyers. I already told the other buyers that were next in line that we're closing. And you went through this long, and they may have bought something else in that meantime, right? So that's like a strategy they do to try to beat you up on price. So that's already a negative, number one. And then two, how serious are they if they're only putting down five? I saw a contract today with a homeowner I met, and this is why I'm bringing this up. They're showing me some of the offers they got, and I was like, wait a minute, one of these offers has $500 in earnest money. Who is seriously in this market going to buy a house if all they're putting down is $500? Now, I have no idea what the intention of that buyer is or why it was so low, but I wouldn't go with that buyer unless they're willing to put down at least 1%. So let's say how they want to buy it for 450,000, 300,000, right? 1% is just going to be 3 grand. It's just going to be $4,500. And if they're a serious buyer, that's nothing. Maybe they should put down more. Typically what we like to do, and it depends on how many deals we got going. We can't have 50 contracts out there all with $5,000 earnest money. You know, that's a lot of money in escrow that, and just floating out there. But typically we like to do a little bit more. Sometimes it's 5,000, sometimes it's more than just 1%. But those are two things I would highly recommend looking into. And I'm telling you, and this is coming from a real estate investor with 12 years experience. If they don't have a short inspection deadline, like 5, 10 days max, and not business days, I mean 5, 10 days max for a fixer upper home, it's like, well, what do they need to look at? How long does it take to get an inspection? It doesn't take that long. And then two, if they have a low earnest money deposit, I would not, if you see both of those and or one of those, question it, reconsider, really ask yourself if that is serious. Start asking for proof of funds, things like that. You got to make sure they're serious, and especially if you're on a tough timeline, you can't wait 30 days just for someone to try to lowball you and then probably end up backing out of the deal if you won't take 50,000 less than what they offered. So again, this is Adam with sellcoloradohouse.com. If you have a fixer upper or a property you're looking to sell along the Front Range of Colorado, contact me and we'll go from there.